Hello everyone, my name's Austin, and I'll be your teacher for EAP 101A. I just wanted to say a few words about myself. I've been teaching at DKU for 3 years, since 2017, and before I came to DKU, I taught at Sun Yat-sen University, Zhongshan Daxue in Guangzhou. In addition to being a teacher, I'm also a writer, and I'm a translator. I translate Chinese literature into English. And I feel a special connection with my students because in the same way that you are now undertaking your college education primarily in English, when I was an undergraduate, I majored in Chinese. And so the journey that you are now making from Chinese into English is one that I made myself in the opposite direction from English into Chinese. And it gives me great pleasure to be able to help you along your journey of becoming an English speaker, in the same way that my Chinese teachers all those years ago helped me along my journey of becoming a Chinese speaker. I love thinking and talking about language. I love the challenge of translating an idea from one language into another. And I really enjoy thinking about my own language from the perspective of a Chinese speaker. And so for me, it really feels like a kind of yuan fen to be able to teach this course. It feels like it was meant to be. All right, now let's talk a little bit about what this course is going to be about and how it's going to work. So first off, this is a hybrid course, which means that it will take place in part online and in part in person. Every week, you will have one class meeting online with me over Zoom. And every week, you will also have one class meeting in person, in a physical classroom on campus with flesh and blood classmates, in which you will have class discussions and do other activities that aren't easy for us to do here over Zoom. Your face-to-face sessions will be led by my colleague, John Harper, right here. And in those face-to-face sessions, you may be joined by other students who are not my students, who don't have me for their online Zoom sessions. However, what I want to emphasize is that you're still my students, which means that I'm the one who is giving you assignments. I'm the one who's reading your written work, the one who's grading your assignments. And in short, I'm the one whose job it is to make sure that you learn this content and have a meaningful experience doing it. So just remember, John Harper oversees your in-person sessions, but I am your teacher for this course. And one other important thing, there may be differences between the way I teach the content in this course and the way other EAP instructors teach it, right? We're all teaching similar content, similar skills. We're all reading many of the same readings. However, every teacher has a slightly different way of teaching it. So don't be surprised if some of the students you meet in your face-to-face sessions may be doing slightly different assignments or reading slightly different things than we are. That's okay, that's normal. So at this point, almost everything you need to know about how this class will work is explained in this document, the course handbook. Things like, how are you going to be graded? How do you communicate with me? What happens if you're late to class? These kinds of things. I recommend that you download this document. It's available on Sakai. Read it carefully, but also I'd suggest that you print it out like I've done here and keep it in a place that's handy and easy to refer to, because as the class goes on and you're wondering, oh, something happened. How do I deal with this? You know, I need to hand in an assignment late. How does that affect my grade? It's all described right here in this document. So I recommend printing it out and keeping it in a place where it's easy to refer to. And lastly, if you haven't done so yet, please add me on WeChat. This is how I prefer to communicate with my students. I find it to be the easiest, both for you and for me. So if you haven't done so yet, scan my QR code and tell me who you are, and I'll add you to the class group.